Good morning, Aria. Good morning, guys. Okay, today we're going to talk about cleaning out the coop. And in our case, it's actually more of a shed. We have one side dedicated to just storing a bunch of things, mostly related to gardening and chickens. So here we store some of their bugs that they get to eat. Sometimes I have extra food in here or different food, like in the wintertime they'll get their feather fixer, which is basically 16% protein when they're molting. You're being really noisy over there. Yeah, I guess somebody's getting ready to lay. Yeah, so then, well, how are you, Momo? How are you? Don't eat sawdust. Yeah, wrong food source. And what are you doing in here? Yeah, what are you doing? Trying to get in trouble again? Okay. All right, so and then here's where we store their main food. Make sure that's nice and close so we don't have problems with any rodents. Okay, so this is my poop kit. That's what I use to get out their poop. So it's kind of cold here, so I don't think the poop's gonna be frozen, but sometimes it could be. Just one glove on. Well, actually, you don't really need that glove because it's gonna be my camera glove. So here we go. This is the poop glove. Nope, I think you need to get out of there. And today we have an extra large amount of poop because I haven't been able to get to it for a few days. Probably more than I'd like to admit. But sometimes it gets busy, and at least in the wintertime you don't have to worry. It's pretty much frozen and they don't smell. Not as much of a problem. So I'm just kind of like, scrape off some surfaces. Just whatever they happen to stand on when they're not, in their on their roosts and their nesting boxes. Then over here is where I keep. They have two of the Cozy Coop panel heaters, which works really well, just to keep them feeling a little bit warmer around their faces. They always put their heads toward the heaters in the winter because we can get some, negative 40 Fahrenheit. It doesn't usually get that cold, but maybe negative 30, negative 35 we've had, and they've been fine. Okay, I guess one of the cats just went into the other side because I didn't close it. That's okay, I'll get her out. So yeah, we just scrape this off a little bit. Usually in the wintertime I can't do a thorough cleaning of those, but every once in a while I'll flip them over so that they can start a new side. So it's probably been a few months since I've been able to clean this properly and really do what needs to be done. But in the winter, again, it's not that big of a deal. So I've got scrape all this out. I'll just scrape a little so you can see. I don't need to do it all right now. And then I lift up the panels and take care of that. So I place this, put the bowl under here to catch the poop. And then I guess it is a little bit above freezing right now. Let me see. It says it's exactly 32 degrees on my, and we only have about 16% humidity. So that's good. Alright, so then I just scrape all this off. and I'll catch whatever I miss down here. Trying to pick up little bits. Usually there's really no, this is all mostly just feathers from when they lost their feathers earlier in the season. So yeah, there's not really much in the way of actual poop down here, and so it never smells. It never, even in the summertime, we never really have any issues because this poop board works really well. I put some old linoleum from our floor down on here. It's actually marmoleum, but yeah, so that works really well. And then over here, the nesting boxes, they don't usually poop in there when they're nesting, so that's not usually an issue. So then I'll just try to look at the board, see if one side looks better than the other. Sometimes if it's been a few months, then you're okay to go back to the other side. Just put down the boards. I don't have this heated right now. They, if it's above freezing, even if it's in the 20s, they don't really need the heater. Probably even in the teens. But I like to give it to them every once in a while, make them feel a little more comfort. Yeah, so we have 2 windows. In the wintertime, I have one closed, the other one open for some light. I have some, Christmas lights in here in case I needed them. I've never had to use them, just to light where I'm looking and stuff. And then I think it's 12 or 14 gauge cord cable going in, and then I've got the 3 outlets here. Just 2 for the, I think those are 100-watt panels, and then this is just their pet bowl, water bowl. I try to keep the food out of here, but sometimes I bring it in, and usually it's one of these or their bigger food bowl, which I think I have it at, I don't know where it is right now, but it looks similar to this. I just fill it with some food. But I don't like to keep it in there much because it's really not good for them. I think the cat went out. Yes, you silly. You just close this a minute. So, and then I store their poop in these containers, in these bags for friends. Because in the springtime, I give it to my friends and relatives. They can use it. They can put it away for gardening. So right now, this is just the start of the brand new bag. And they just sit here. And then I also have some for my own mulch, fertilizer later in the year. But those, it'll take a year for the poop to become just what you want it to for using as fertilizer. But yeah, it all seems to work well. And you seem to like to get into the shed, don't you? Yeah. And in the shed, it's kind of basic. We just put it together really fast. Just set up everything up here. We put some of the stuff back there in storage. Haven't found any mice or anything. At one time we did have some food in here, and that was a big mistake. We had a lot of mice, and I had to use little traps, and that problem's gone away. Thank goodness. And yeah, I just have a couple things I store up here. I have a little bit of on the outside for winter time, just all year round actually. I put some I don't know if you can see it up here. Yeah, I put the hardware, or whatever you call that, the hardware cloth up at the top to keep birds and insects out of it. That works pretty well. There's their food thing. Yeah, I'm not using that right now. It's just kind of a pain. In the summer, though, it works well. And then if we have to do a lockdown because of the bird flu, I will cover this entire enclosure, top, sides, etc. with some, probably a tarp or plastic so they can see through a little. Otherwise, yeah, then we store over there those black containers are where we'll put some of the bird poop when not using it in the garden. So that's it for now. Hope that is useful to somebody. Thanks.